as I said many times before, especially to my daily mass crowd, but again, it's worth repeating when you read and listen to sacred scripture, that sometimes our English translation doesn't do the text justice. It happens with really any type of translation. Sometimes you lose something from it. This is the case. Jesus says, "Go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel." That's the phrase that we lose. Go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. And the word in play here that is very misleading is lost. When we think of that passage, think of that line, what's the vision that you have? What are you thinking of? Go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. I bet you most of you are thinking sheep that have lost their way on a path. They're wandering around. They're lost. Just like, when we're driving and all of a sudden we don't know where we're at, we don't know where we're going, what do we say? We're lost. I think that's the connotation that I think for most of us is kind of driven up. It comes to the forefront. But in the Greek, the word for lost is a little bit more violent. In fact, I saw a translation that used the word perish. Go rather to the perished sheep of the house of Israel. In the Greek, that's what it's trying to drive up. Sheep that are wounded and sheep that have been slain. Which makes sense because the gospel passage begins with Jesus giving authority to the apostles to what? To drive out unclean spirits and to cure every disease and illness. That Jesus gives his authority to the apostles to heal people. And then at the end of this gospel passage, what does he tell them? To go to those that are wounded, to those that are perishing and announce that the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Again, one of the signs of the arrival of the kingdom was the fact that people were being cured of their diseases. And we know that Jesus isn't talking about just the physical illness. Remember, the healing of the physical illness is meant to be a sign of the spiritual illnesses that afflict us. And so he sends the apostles out to cure, to forgive those who are wounded and are perishing because of sin. And that's each and every one of us. We are perishing. I'm sorry, I'm butchering that word, but what Jesus is getting at here as he calls the 12. Remember that this illness of sin was first started by us humans, by the first Adam. He brought the sin into the heart and the souls of the human person. Now Jesus is going to use other men to go and to cure and to bring that out, to cure and to deliver sin through the authority of Jesus, through the authority that Jesus bestows upon the church. Namely, confession, the Mass, and the other sacraments. God is a healer of our wounded hearts. That's how we're lost. We're lost not in the sense of direction. We're lost in the sense of our relationship to God. We don't know where we stand before him. And so Jesus goes sends out the church to be a haven, to be a safeguard for those wounded and afflicted by sin. May God bless you.